You're listening to Love Talk Live with the relationship expert, Jaime Bronstein, only on LA Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome to Love Talk Live. Today I have with me Tina Louise Balodi and husband Alan Balodi.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome, guys.
Thanks so much for having me.
No problem. They just drove in from the OC. Where exactly?
Orange County, Irvine.
Nice. And there was a little traffic, so we're just settling in.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Starting the show because you guys are all in store for just such wonderful content from this couple. We're going to learn all about their relationship, and they're going to share some things that make them who they are and what makes a successful relationship. So I'm going to read to you guys a little bit about this couple and what they do, and then we'll just kind of get into their relationship and the questions that I have for them. So Tina Louise Balodi, a.k.a. the Emotion Fairy, is a mompreneur, the founder of Prana Boost, along with her husband, Alan Balodi, and Prana Boost Parenting. She is a peace advocate, master of mindfulness and emotional intelligence, author, speaker, and transformational life coach. She inspires people to raise their vibration, access their intuition, and live their most authentic life. Her greatest mission is to help create emotionally safe families, homes, and relationships. Wonderful. I have two angels sitting next to me, apparently.
Well.
So, and if we do have time, we can get more into kind of what you guys do for your business because, or maybe you might need to come back and do a whole, separate show because, and also you'll have a chance to tell people how to find you at the end, but they both do amazing things. So,
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's start off by getting into how did you guys meet?
Go ahead.
Me? Okay.
And how long have you been married?
Okay. We will be married 18 years this coming May. And we've been together 25 years, actually. Yeah. Halloween was our 25-year anniversary.
Wonderful.
So both of our birthdays are this month, and it's actually the 26th year in a row we're celebrating our birthdays together.
Wow.
I was literally 18 when we met.
Yeah, and I was 20.
Wow.
So I'm 2
Wow.
years and 2 days older. So we met at college back in Illinois. We went to Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois, and the short version is Alan lived on the second floor of our dorm, and I lived on the third floor. And I thought it was very wise of me to do my laundry on a guy's floor instead of a girl's floor, which was one above me, so that they could help me carry my laundry.
Very smart.
And I did.
So I hung out on that floor, and I made a lot of friends, and I met, Alan and I met, and we literally met like 2 months into school. So, and then that was it. We were together since then.
Wow.
Yeah. it was
That's amazing. And then you got married after college? Or?
We got married, we got engaged after we were together for 6 years, so we met in 1994, and we got married in 2002 in Newport Beach on a big yacht called the Icon. And
We're two Aquariuses, so that only makes sense.
Ooh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. So, yeah.
So one of the coolest thing is we met in school, but then we got in both of our cars, literally just packed the cars up and drove across the country to LA.
When he graduated,
That was
drove.
really cool.
Yeah.
We just got walkie-talkies and drove.
It was really hard. I said I would never do it again, and I haven't.
Yeah.
And you pretty much have just been here ever since?
Yes. Yeah. We had a short stint of moving back home to Chicago for a little bit, and then we ended up in Arizona for almost 4 years, which was part of our spiritual journey that we went on, and then back in California.
Wonderful. So tell the viewers, at what point was it that you knew that you were in love? And you guys will usually my couples have different answers to this question. Maybe you don't know, or maybe you do know.
Well, like Tina said, we met early on, and right away, I think it was funny, but my roommate kept saying, what do you think about Tina? How do you like Tina? Well, you should go out with Tina. So I couldn't figure out why he was saying that, and then he realized that we're both Jewish. So he said, maybe that is the reason you should date. So we got to know each other, and I immediately fell in love, and Tina was one of the most charismatic, bubbly people I've ever met. So it was incredible, and we've been best friends ever since.
I think it was immediate, but like 3 months in, we kind of knew that I mean, we didn't really understand what that even meant. Like, nobody thought we would be together now, 25 years later. Neither one of us had a very positive role model for relationships, that we grew up with like our families. And, his mom was single his entire life, and we both had, our grandmothers were divorced, and my parents actually got divorced after 32 years, but didn't have a very conflict-free, loving relationship growing up anyway. So it's not like we had like a big belief that we could pull this off, but we had a vision and an intention to be able to do it.
And you've done it.
Yeah, we just followed our gut and just, what felt right.
Yeah.
I love it. So I know you guys were young when you met, but so one of the questions that I ask couples is about past relationships, how this current partner is different, better than your exes. And I know you guys were so young, I don't know if you had exes, but maybe you could speak to that.
I think we both dated very, very briefly, but he was my real first love, first relationship.
Yeah, I just had a couple dates here and there, go to the movies. I never had a serious relationship. Tina was kind of the first one.
Yeah.
So what would you say, what would your advice be, or just insight into couples that have known each other, that were each other's maybe first people? Because I know a lot of couples, they get to the point when they're in your situation and they feel like they didn't have other experiences, so then they get to the point where they want to. So what would you say, what has kept you guys strong, I guess?
I think we live such a unique custom lifestyle. Like we keep molding and evolving according to our needs and our growth and our own like personal growth and evolution. So we're constantly like we're not really. I don't want to speak for you, but I don't think we talk all the time that we're like lacking or we desire like a different experience, because we have those different experiences with each other, because it's always changing and evolving.
Yeah, I would totally agree. Every day, we evolving and pushing ourselves, and there's no room for, to think back and say, oh, I wish things were different, or can I try something else? It's, we both work for our business, and it's been like that since 1999.
Yeah, we've always actually worked together too, so our lives are extremely blended.
Yeah.
We're like one human.
I always say we're a dragon with two heads.
Yeah. We're like
so sweet.
We're like the perfect human together, like I have my strengths, he has his strengths, and
I'm told I can reach things.
We complement each other.
She's short, she can look at the floor.
Yeah,
that's right.
We complement each other in many ways. So we're just, I think, it's funny, but I work with some couples and I work with families, and I kind of say like, it's like Tony Robbins, you burn the boat. It's like, it's not even a thought, because it's like a commitment. We made a commitment, and we didn't say like when we got married, like, oh, maybe once in a while we'll date, or like, we were committed. Like that was it. We just burned the boat. Like we're done. Like now we're moving on to this next thing. And it's not like we haven't had situations where we thought like we might not make it through this. Like we've had tough life scenarios, and it hasn't always been perfect. We have worked very hard to have what we have, and we've worked very hard to become the couple that we are now. So it's not it's just not even up for question. It's kind of like you're committed to your parenting, you're committed, you make a commitment, you're just in.
And you kind of have to have the same similar I would say approach towards having a business. When you get into something, it's kind of in our DNA as entrepreneurs. We made a commitment, and once you have that knowledge that you burned the boat, it's much easier to deal with it. You realize that person is on your team. Even when you're fighting, you're like, I know in 5 minutes we're going to hug. So you kind of always think back, I better, know where the lines are.
But the difference between you guys and a couple that doesn't make it is that you guys have this deep connection.
Yes.
So you can get through everything, and you want to get through.
Yes, you want to.
But there's been many times, like even right before we got engaged, I was like, this is not going to work out. Like, it's not going to happen, because you have your own stresses, you have life stresses, you have things that happen, and we would sit down and talk it through. And one of the things that we have, I kind of wrote down like 5 things that, I think are like our core, like magic for a relationship. And I'll share them, but one of them is communication. Like, seriously. So, like, we would talk about everything. So it's not like somebody's just, like, upset in a room and, you know, like, has all these thoughts. Like, we talk it through, even if it takes hours or, you know,
That's
days.
great.
And when I was 18, I was not a master at communicating, but Tina was.
Really? That's
So,
impressive.
Yeah, she always has been. She was a communication major.
Okay.
Everything I learned about communication, I did not learn at school, but yes, but I got a degree in it. But I learned, I would say, a huge majority of it from Oprah. Like, seriously, like, I watched every single Oprah episode.
We love you, Oprah. We love Oprah.
And even I could see, because I studied psychology, I loved relationships and people, and I was always, like, very intuitive. And so I was like an investigator. Like, I could go in and I'd be like, I know what you're saying, but I'm feeling something else.
Yes.
Like, I know you're not telling me what you really want to tell me. And I wanted to create a safe space for us to be able to tell each other the deepest truths. And a lot of times we can't be our authentic selves with our partner. We can't tell them how we're really feeling. And it's, you know, you're worried about risking not just your relationship, but hurting people's feelings or things like that. And I needed us both to be able to feel safe to tell each other those things and those fears and those worries or those insecurities or those thoughts. And I grew up in a home where communication was not the main focus. So I think I went
like most people.
I went like the other way. Like, we're going to go all in.
Yes.
So like in college when I was watching Oprah, I would call him in every second. I'd be like, oh my God, you got to see this episode. And he's like, why am I watching this episode on alcoholics? And I'm like, because we can learn something from everyone, like everyone's experience. We can take something out of that. We can learn about their struggle or where they weren't being honest or things like that. It doesn't matter what the show topic is.
Absolutely.
And at one point he was like, if you don't stop Oprah-sizing me, it became like a verb.
But hey, it worked.
No, but he realized that this
Tina
was
Winfrey.
the way. Yeah. Well, this was the way for us to do it, and over the years we learned how to better communicate with each other, and try to leave, no damage behind. I started to learn about nonviolent communication and just so many other tools in our toolbox that I think has really helped us over the years.
Yeah.
But like he said, also being on the same team, we became a partnership. And we have a partnership marriage, and then we actually created a partnership in a business, then we created a partnership as parents, a partnership family. So it's kind of a theme.
I mean, this is a meant to be couple because you spend a lot of time together and you have wonderful ways to communicate even when you do get a little frustrated, but there's something very special and very unique about this. But just like you were just saying, even if you're out there and you're spending a lot of time with your spouse and you don't feel this as strong of a connection, maybe there are ways to improve that. Like, I like that you say that you guys, it sounds like you guys have a lot of new adventures and every day is different. That is so huge because people get in these habits of every single day. It's like the same robotic
same pattern
thing, and that's not thriving. That's just surviving every day. And
we do, because we live this intuitive lifestyle of like how we feel, we don't really have the same day every day. Like, every day is different. So I think that's why it doesn't really get old for us.
it's wonderful.
And when it does, we know how to, shift it up a
Yeah,
little
we
bit.
sort of follow our feelings, and if something begins to feel stale, we just change it. So it's always new.
We studied about pattern interrupts, and so like he'll be like driving and be like turn out of the driveway the other way and just go another way and do something different. Like we understand that that's important. But I think that the biggest key, would you agree, is our own self-evolution. Like, we learned to connect to ourselves, our own inner truth, and so that we could be a better partner to the other person.
Mm-hmm. And you're both on board with that because a lot of
Absolutely.
couples, one person gets it
Yeah.
and is evolving and understands the importance, and then the other person doesn't feel like it's necessary, maybe.
Yeah, and the hardest part about that, I think, is that when you want to make a change, it can become very scary because change creates a chemical imbalance in your brain. You can have a physical reaction to change, and I think when you see your partner changing, you feel threatened.
Yes.
And you can get very scared and very insecure and very threatened. And I think that if we can show our partner that there's a benefit to it, like they're going to benefit from us changing, like we're going to talk nicer, or we're going to have more fun together, or something like that, we're doing it for the sake of the relationship, and our own emotional well-being, not to like
be like, I'm better.
Yeah,
than you.
I'm better than you, and it's competitive. You know,
Right.
it's kind of like, hey, I'm really feeling better. I'm trying this new thing. You know, would
And
you
it
like to
could
hear
be,
more
it
about
could
it?
be as simple as reading the same books. Like one of our traditions was go to Barnes and Noble and read new books. So we would share a book. She'll give me a book. Hey, check this out. So it's always being kind of on a similar page. When you learn something, you share.
Yeah.
You meditate. You have an experience. You share. So it's almost like a team. You know.
But we couldn't be more different. Like, everybody should know that. Like, he's interested in different things than I'm interested in, and he's passionate about different things than I'm passionate about. And so kind of honoring those differences is what makes it work for us, you know, that we're not the same person.
Yes. And you can teach each other and learn from each other.
Yeah, it's not like we're sitting with like our coffee, reading the
No.
same book and giggling.
That would be
over
boring.
Tina doesn't
know?
like science fiction movies. I'm a big Star Wars
Yeah,
fan.
you
There's
know.
many different
And you guys probably don't get manis and petties together.
No.
No, but I do things that show that I take care of him. Like, I will make a bath for him, you know, and I'll get it, because you know how sometimes we don't take care of ourselves the way, like, if you're like, oh, I'm gonna go make a bath, like, that's not
the average
fun.
humans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we get lazy and we're just like, oh, forget it. But if somebody makes it for you, but we kind of live like that. We do that for our girls. We both do that. We do stuff for our girls.
You're thoughtful.
We do stuff for each other that we know we can do ourselves, but when someone else does it for you, it's a huge
when
gesture
someone cooks
of
for you.
love. Yeah, it's you know, like, the first 10 years of our relationship, I was like the coffee person, and then the next since then, the next 15 years, like, he would bring me coffee every morning, you know, and he became like the coffee guy, and I'd be like, where's my coffee? And we take care of each other. We just do things for each other. It's like, you know, if I go grocery shopping and they don't come with me, he comes and empties all the groceries out of the car. Like, it's like, I
We
don't know
try
how
to focus on
explain
the
it.
things that we're good at and try to kind of merge it together and see how it can function as a unit, you know, together. I'm better at this, you're better at this.
Yeah, I'm better at making plans. So, like, I wrote a blog, and I don't remember if we did a podcast about it, but it was about manifesting a Valentine's Day lifestyle rather than just like that day.
Yes.
And I know
Honoring your
that's
love all
coming
the
up.
time.
Yeah, and so it's kind of like, but also, what does it look like? It's different for everyone. You know, he grew up in another country, and he didn't even know what Valentine's Day was. And like I said, he didn't have a
Where
dad.
did you grow up?
I grew up in Riga, Latvia,
Okay.
so I actually speak Russian as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff that I grew up with was very foreign to him. And we've always been very rebellious. And I remember him saying, like, I'm not going to get you a card on this day when everyone's standing there panicking to get a card, but I could do something nice for you, like, on a random Tuesday. Or, you know what I mean? Like, we were rebellious in the way that people say that you have to show love, you know? So,
love
like,
it.
yeah, like, and we just take care of each other.
It's very apparent. You guys aren't here, but I can feel the love. You can feel
can?
it. Yes,
Oh.
yes. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
So I want to make sure we get to the things that you wanted to share, and then I have I asked them to get some paper, a few things to go over. So do you want to just share
Sure.
that first?
Okay, well, so I have I have one secret to our relationship that I always tell people and then I have these 5 that I'll share, pieces of advice for you all. But one of them is just to do things so differently, like by following what is important to us, not like, you know, the average couple or what you would read in an article. One of the things we decided long ago was that we have our own blankets in our bed, because you know, the beginning of the relationship, you do everything properly. Like, there's going to be 2 nightstands, you're going to have a bed, you're going to share a blanket. But he likes to be a burrito and wrap himself up and steal the entire blanket.
yes.
It's important.
And at one
Burrito
point,
man.
I thought to myself, why can't I just get my own blanket? Like, is that weird? Like, you always see the blanket
Right,
is
yeah.
made, and you're supposed to share a blanket, and you're married, and I'm like, this is crazy. So, like,
I like that.
yeah, so he has his own comforter. I have a unicorn comforter that I love, and we're right next to each other, but I'm warm and he's warm. So that's like a little...
That's inspirational. That's great.
Yeah, okay. So here's like, I say like 5 pieces of advice for a beautiful, connected, loving, peaceful, what we call prana boost marriage. So number 1 is always giggle. Like, that's a huge thing that keeps us going. I think if there wasn't laughter involved, like, it's the best medicine. It helps you go through life's ups and downs, and we've been through it all. We've been through grief and trauma and all sorts of stuff, and that's, I think, one of our best.
Don't take life too seriously.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. 2 is
agree.
what we talked about, communication. And I say you must talk all the time about everything. And even if you both speak the same language, this is a big joke between us because English wasn't his native language initially. But I would say to him, like, I don't understand because I know I'm speaking English. Why are we not understanding each other?
And he'd be like, well, maybe I don't speak English.
Yeah, no, but he would, like, it was just, like, seriously, like, so, I mean, you have to clarify and you have to connect and you have to consistently, like, check in to see what's happening with your partner. And sometimes, like, I'll say, you know, not like look at me when I talk to you, something like that, but just like let's connect in some way. Let me know that you heard me, like because a lot of times we're distracted. We're distracted. We're multitasking. We're doing stuff, taking care of the kids, things like that. And so maybe he heard me speaking, but he didn't hear what I said. You know, things like that. So having patience with each other. Like he said, be best friends. Understand that you're on the same team, and even if you think differently, you can both contribute to your relationship. As long as you respect each other and desire a similar, you know, vision. Like we have core values for our family that most people have for businesses. We have them for our family. Okay, so fourth, you're gonna like this: hugs. Lots of hugs. So he likes to hug, and somewhere he read that you must hug for 17 seconds.
That's important.
But he usually catches me when I'm either like cooking, like seriously walking out the door, or I have to pee.
The worst timing.
That
like,
happens. My husband's always like, and I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
But then
like,
you still have to
hug.
stop.
And I'm like, but I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't have 17 seconds to wait. But,
Such a random number. Why do you think it's 17?
It releases a chemical, right?
It does, yeah. There's some kind of scientific study behind it.
Oxytocin?
Yeah, something.
Yeah, it takes that time.
But I can personally tell you that it's incredible because after a few seconds, you just feel the love.
Heart to heart, yeah.
Yeah, and that's amazing, and it's healthy, and it's just brings your mood up, and it's great.
I think you start off like this, like, oh, I love you, and then if you lean in a little bit and you stay there, you kind of like breathe. You're like, ah. Like you kind of relax and settle into the hug.
Yeah, I don't know about 17 seconds, but usually if you did long enough, the person breathes deeply, and you could tell, by the body language.
It's a stress reliever.
Yeah.
And a love connector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe some people might need 25 seconds.
And sometimes we're running around like crazy, or it's a stressful day, or the last thing I want to do is hug any type of human because I'm right, and he'll come and he'll be like, did we hug today? You know, and then
I love it.
So it's like it's so important.
Julia Roberts and her husband do that. Danny Motors,
They do?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great way to stay connected.
And sometimes hugs turn into something more when the kids aren't around.
Pilates.
Yeah. Okay, and so then 5, I would say, just really love is the answer, like unconditional love. I think we all have to have like our own daily spiritual practice and growth and evolution, like routines. Like we have to understand how to like raise our vibration and take care of our own energy so that we can show up better for our partners. Like when he's, because we're so connected, when he's low, I mean, it affects me, it affects all of us. When I'm low, it affects the whole house, it affects everyone.
We're kind of synchronized. Yeah, almost.
Yeah, and we're all going to have off days.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
So it's like, how can we help that person that day? Like, how can we help the person that we love? And, a lot of times I hear people say, like, my partner's grumpy or they're in a bad mood, but that means they need more love. Same with parenting.
Yeah.
When our kids are grumpiest or most angry, they need us most.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more challenging sometimes, I think, to give that kind of love to our partner because we think, well, he's a grown-up. He should be able to, snap out of it or take care of his own energy. But it's not true. Like we need each other.
Or the last thing you want to do is keep score. When you get into that mode,
right,
it's gonna roll into a big negative.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
So just love.
Yes.
Unconditionally.
And
always.
unconditional, don't keep score. Yeah.
Yes, I like that. Don't keep score. Okay, so thank you for that. Now we're gonna roll into this last section. I need you guys to
take a quiz.
No. Okay, so I need you guys to close your eyes.
Okay.
I'm going to ask a question. You're going to not think about the answer, but just let it come to you. And then you're going to write it down. The question is, why?
Oh, no, is this like a newlywed game or something?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
The question is, close your eyes.
Okay.
Why do you choose to be married to this person?
Do I write with my eyes closed?
No, you can open your eyes. You can open your eyes. And don't look at each other's papers. Do, 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 do. do 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 do. Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
You can have more time if you want more time. Got it?
I don't know,
Okay.
there's so many reasons. I don't know how to pick one.
Yeah.
Answers.
You go first.
Nice
Okay.
handwriting.
Well, I wrote two things. I said spiritual connection, and when I'm with Tina, I feel complete. I feel like I can accomplish anything because I know she's got my back and I have her back. So.
Love it.
I said he is my best friend and life partner. But I would have said like twin flame and like all this stuff. I didn't know how deep to go.
Too late. You missed your chance.
That's what came to you, and that's beautiful.
Ah, okay.
And you have amazing handwriting.
Thank you.
Okay. Close your eyes again.
Okay.
What is, we've already kind of talked about this in general, but I need just one answer. What is the key to your successful relationship? The key. The most important.
Like one word?
No, it doesn't. It can be a sentence, but just
okay.
the most important thing. Okay. Tina Louise.
Okay. I would say unconditional love, forgiveness, and comedy.
Love it.
I wrote the same thing. Unconditional love and laughter.
Aw.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You guys are meant to be. If you didn't know that yet, you're meant to be. Okay. And finally, last question. Close your eyes. I know that I'm in love in this moment because most people don't think about this. So don't think about it. Just let it come to you.
I don't even know how to answer that.
Well, why don't you could just start, since Alan has his on paper, we know he's not going to steal your answer. You can just start talking.
Or would you like to hear my answer?
Yeah.
My answer is I would not want to be anywhere else.
Oh. That's good.
Aw. Well, he's my family. I mean, he's just everything. I've been with him longer than I was around on the planet before him. So I met him when I was 20. I'm about to be 46 next week.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. So he's my everything.
There it is. Wow.
I like that.
I love it. So any final words of wisdom you'd like to share with our audience?
I think that the greatest gift we are able to give our girls, we have two daughters, 13 and 15. I think the greatest gift that we could give them is two parents that love each other. And it's not always perfect, and we don't always speak kindly, but we catch ourselves, and we're mindful of it, and we reconnect after any type of emotional breakdown. And we all have emotions, and we all have moods, and we all have situations, but I think that's a big gift that we are actually giving the world and giving our girls is the love that we have for each other and the respect that we have.
Absolutely. Anything from you?
I would just say don't underestimate the power of meditation and just going within and finding your own self-value, and that will allow you to take care of somebody else. You have to kind of charge yourself in order to continue to give to everyone around you.
Oh, I have one more thing to say, actually. It just came to me.
Okay.
There's so many myths about relationships. There's none of them are true. It's only true. Anything is only true for you if you believe in it. It's just not true. You don't have to believe in anyone else's vision of what love is, what love looks like. As long as love feels safe and healthy and leaves you better off, supports your emotional, physical, mental, spiritual well-being, then it's for you. But everything else is a myth.
I love that you're saying that. I feel like as long as you feel peace in your heart in that relationship, that's all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you.
Please, how can our viewers contact you guys if they have questions? And you guys must come back and talk more about your business next time.
Absolutely. Well, we have a podcast that we're doing together now called The Prana Boost Show. You can find out more about us and our company at pranaboost.com.
Prana, for people that don't know, Prana.
PRANABOOST.com. You can also find me at Instagram at Prana Boost, and he's at Metaphysical Monk, right?
Oh, I love it.
That's my Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah.
Metaphysical monk. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So reach out.
Wonderful. And as always, you can find me at www.therelationshipexpert.com. So thank you for joining us. Thank you guys for joining us. And have a wonderful evening, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
Bye.
for tuning in to Love Talk Live.
You're listening to Love Talk Live with the relationship expert, Jaime Bronstein, only on LA Talk Radio.